Guys, how you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. It's Simon down here at Burford Golf Lab, and today we're going to be talking about, can you purchase a good golf game? So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit unedited, uncut, these 4 irons as I talk about the subject to give you a bit of an idea on getting custom fitted, getting new clubs versus practice and time. And seeing as I've been there, done it, experienced all of it, and I've now been playing golf for 10 years, I feel like I've got a bit of an idea, understanding, and now obviously I'm a coach and a club fitter. I can give you both sides of the story. So the first shot is going to be with a left-handed club, but I'm not going to swing it left-handed. Let's see how I hit it. We will definitely take that. That was literally the first time as well. I was gonna like keep doing the first one until it got good, but that was actually the first swing, so I better not mess up the rest of this video. So, looking at clubs, I was having a chat with my friend of a friend, and he knows I'm a golf coach and he knows that I'm a club fitter. He's got the bug, he's been playing 8 months or so, and he plays twice a week with work. So he goes out, plays with his work colleagues, and he's beyond frustrated to the point that he's good at every other sport. He's 6'3", good at football, good at tennis, any other sport he's ever been able to pick up, he's got on with. Golf, however, is one of the only sports that has not been kind to him, and he's getting seriously frustrated with the game. And he was on suicide watch, the drink didn't help, he was on suicide watch talking to me about his golf and how everything's going wrong, and he now is into this point that I feel like a lot of people get to, in terms of, I need to spend a lot of money on golf equipment if I'm going to get any better. I need the clubs to be fitted for me 2 degrees upright, I need them to be stiffer shafts, I need bigger heads, I need more technology, I need new driver, I need new putter, I need all of these things, and they're looking to spend. He said to me, I don't mind spending 2.5 grand or 2 grand. I know it's a lot of money, but I want to enjoy the game more, and that's all it's about. It's about enjoying the game more. And hopefully this video I'm going to talk about and hopefully show you guys that you don't need to spend 2.5 grand to get A, better, or B, enjoy the game more. I feel like we'll go for the junior club, the small one. Two for two. We're starting to look good. That wasn't bad at all. They were, we'll take the 2 shots. You can see I got the hardest clubs out of the way at the start of the video, and then warm up obviously into the easier ones as the video goes on. The reason I feel like I've got an understanding is because I've been there and done it. Now obviously I started playing golf when I was 17 years of age. I quickly got addicted and obsessed with the game. I got a job in a pro shop when I was 19. I played off 21, and I worked 40 hours in the shop, and I must have practiced 60 hours a week. I was obsessed, I lived at the golf course, I was there from 7 till 7 every day, basically. Now, the things that definitely helped me, for example, and why I'm going to talk about club fitting, is definitely got benefits and pros, but it's not always the answer, and there's some people that's going to help a lot more than others. I'm 6'1", I'm relatively strong. I'm stronger now than I ever used to be, but it meant that the bad shots were always quite bad because I had a fast club head speed but I had little experience. And this guy is probably exactly the same. He's a heavy set guy, a lot of upper body, which normally dominates to come a lot more like over the top, for example, and he hasn't played that long. 8 months. And like 2 times a week, let's say, and some of you might be going, Simon, that's actually not, that's quite a bit of golf. That's not really in the grand scheme of things in terms of obviously practicing the game. But he wants to get better, he wants sort of slicing the ball, and the reason that I feel like I have a bit of input is because I remember when I was coming down my handicap, I wanted to turn professional, so you have to get your handicap down to 4. I was willing to spend as much money as I can. Now I was lucky because I was wearing a pro shop, so I could get them discounted, but when I got fitted, when I was off 12 for example, I bought a £300.50 driver shaft, and I bought a £270 5-wood shaft, not including the heads. Obviously I got the heads at trade and like pro zone use, but still I'm spending like 600 quid just on the shafts. Were they good? Yes, I felt like they were good. Did they make me from 12 to scratch? No, that still took a year and a half of just practice. And to be perfectly honest, could I have done it just with a standard stock X-Diff shaft in the driver? Probably. And what I'm trying to show in this video is that I'm near up to 10 years of playing golf now. And the things that I can do with the golf club, and the shots that I can hit, mainly because obviously I'm flexible, I'm tall, and I've practiced a lot, but at the same time, the clubs can only do so much. They're not going to be the answer. And I feel like a lot of people give up golf because they practice, invest their time and money, when they spend a load of money on clubs and then they still find in a year's time that golf hasn't got any better, they say there's no answers and they throw the toys out of the pram and they give up the game. And I feel like when I was speaking to this guy, one of my friends on the weekend, he loves the game, he's addicted to the game, he just wants to go and enjoy it, he just wants to go and shoot like 90, bogey golf, so he's not embarrassed, he can go out with his mates, he can enjoy himself, he can have a beer afterwards, but at the same time he can't enjoy it when the ball's just going everywhere, and he feels like, I imagine a lot of people do, buying equipment is going to save or answer all their prayers, for example. Right, feel like another club, half an inch shorter, ladies flex, GLE iron. Considering I hit the other two pretty well, I'm hoping this one's not going to be too bad either. That has gone a mile. Should have stuck with the junior club. That's gone about 190 yards with the ladies flex club. Maybe I should get fitted properly. But what I'm trying to say is that practice is key. Putting time and effort into this game is key. I'm so much better of a player now, not because I practice as much as I used to, because I used to put some serious time into it, but I've racked up all that years of experience. I've hit a lot more balls over the years. I have a really good understanding of how the game works, for example, and to be perfectly honest, what killed me more when I was younger was my mental state than now. If you're new to the channel, I've been doing YouTube for 3 years, and I started this channel on my European Tour, Handicap 40 European Tour series. I bundled tons of pressure on myself. Mentally, I was not strong enough. Every time I got on the tee, I was physically ill in a tournament, and the nerves just crushed me. It doesn't matter how good you're swinging it or the equipment that you got, mental side of this game is arguably, as Bob Rotella says, it's your 15th club. And I could go out with lady set of golf clubs or clubs that are 20 years older and play better in a tournament now than I could when I was playing and practicing the most, because I don't feel the pressure. I'm not worried about if I go and shoot 80 anymore, and ironically that means that I play better golf. And when you put yourself in these scenarios, as my friend explained as well, he goes and plays on work colleagues, on these like society days, and he's so nervous before he's even got out the car, because he's already putting in his head that he's going to play badly and he's going to slice it. That's probably costing him more shots than anything else in the game. And if anyone could get better or wanted to get better, the mental side of the game is far more important than spending £2.5 grand on clubs, or practicing like a lot but not putting yourself in that pressured scenario. A lot of people play better golf by themselves, like I did, for example, and that's all I ever practiced when I was younger, but I never practiced under pressure, and that is sometimes why people crumble a lot. And if you go out and buy a load of clubs for £2.5 grand and you turn up the first tee with your mates with £2.5 grand new clubs, they're expecting you to play well, you're expecting to play well, and when you don't play well because everyone has a bad day, that's when you lose your confidence, and that's when it starts getting even worse. Last club, Titleist AP2 716, beautiful looking club, money's worth. These are great. If you could get a set of these on eBay, that's unbelievable. It's got a reg flex, mid-size grip, not fitted for me, but obviously a steel with a steel shaft with obviously a traditional 7 head. I'm gonna have to take a lot off this because, as you saw, I'm probably gonna hit this about 190 yards just as I did with the ladies iron. Let's see if I can get it close. Tell you what, I'm bringing the Handicap 40 European Tour Series back. That's the best shot of it, especially at the end of the video as well, when I can't obviously do any retakes. So what did I tell my friend? I said to him, spending £120 on lessons, which with myself, that's 5 half-an-hour lessons weekly, plus practicing, is gonna improve his game a lot more, because he's already got Callaway irons that are like, I don't know, 8 years old with steel shafts. He's got a full set of clubs, but you can't take away the skill element of golf and put in that practice. And when you learn to practice properly with the right technique, and there's so many techniques out there, as long as you've got a pretty decent like impact factors, swing path, club face, you can get good at the game. Getting down to like shooting 90s and having a handicap at 18 doesn't take that much, especially for a guy of his ability in terms of like size and how strong he is. It's getting rid of the bad shots rather than making him hitting it perfectly all the time. Now when it comes to club fitting, obviously I'm a club fitter, so this is a bit ironic, because at the end of the day, half of my job, as well as coaching and working in the shop selling Mars bars, I also obviously fit for people in terms of clubs. So why would you buy irons? Why would you get fitted for them? And as I said to him, if he got fitted now and I'd fit him, I'd probably fit him into Reg Flex. Obviously the static would probably be the same. He's going to have quite forgiving heads, for example, and that's going to be great for him for a year. However, after a year of having lessons and practicing, well, they're going to be null and void. He probably needs stiff. He might need even extra stiff because he's a big guy. He'll probably want smaller heads because he can control the ball a bit better, and he wants a bit more touch and feel, for example. So you've gone and spent £2.5 grand on clubs. All of a sudden, in a year's time with a bit of practice, they're not going to be that great for you. Now, I'm not saying don't, if you've got the money and you want to spend it, by all means, but what I don't want people to go away from is going, oh no, I feel like I've spent all this money and all of a sudden they're not good for me anymore. If you're happy and you know and you're aware of that, brilliant. But what I would say is, for this guy in particular, keep with the second-hand stuff that he's got at the moment, or the clubs that he's got at the moment. Keep practicing, learn with them. They're close enough to his fit. It's like steel, for example, standard length, head somewhat forgiving. So in terms of learning, that's fine. You give McIlroy or Jordan Spieth or whoever on tour, you give them a set of ladies irons or clubs, they're gonna still break apart. So it's always that skill element, and as soon as you obviously practice and get used to that, the better you are. Don't feel the pressure to buy new clubs because of this advertising. Before you want to, every manufacturer, get faster, get quicker, hit the ball longer. That doesn't save you shots. What saves you shots is being more consistent and having an all-rounded short game. However, for people that are of older generation, for example, that aren't going to be having lessons or don't have the range of movement that they used to, they might have had a few injuries or hip replacements or whatever it is, getting fitted could be really beneficial as well. So there's two sides. Obviously, if you spend a bit of money and your swing's never going to change, then you can go really in depth, graphite shafts, maybe quite a bit more upright depending on who it is, or flat, or whatever it is, wherever your bad shots are. You're going to see improvement, because that generation, like a lot of members of our clubs, just want to play every week. They're not going to practice. They're going to play every week. So I could give them a set. They've probably got the income as well. Give them a set and they can go away and not change anything, keep their swing exactly the same, but they've hit it further and they're hitting it more consistently. For your younger players, which I feel like your target audience that spend a lot of money on golf clubs is between the age of like 30 to 50, that have just picked up golf to the game, picking up golf now, for example, they're very impatient. And all I would say as a club fitter myself is just be a bit more patient. Maybe look at second-hand clubs that are a bit more suited, or like 5 years ago, for example, still got that text, still got that forgiveness, but half an inch more in length and a slightly stiffer shaft, for example, isn't gonna dramatically improve your game. My last job, very much the ethos is you had to have new clubs before we even taught you. And that is why I left there and I now work here. So making sure and people understanding that you can play golf with any golf clubs. Yes, newer clubs are going to help in certain areas. Getting club fitted again is going to help in certain areas, but it's not the be all end all. And having a good understanding, patient, and just enjoying the game, enjoying the process. We can't complete this game. This game is impossible to complete. So as long as you enjoy the journey and the process, then you're going to have a good time. I'm doing my job correctly, and hopefully you guys are getting your money's worth. Bit of a different video today, guys. As I said, I had that experience on the weekend. I felt like I wanted to share it with you because I do feel like that is very similar to probably a lot of golfers out there probably starting the game, and I feel like if they don't, I'd just love if someone watched this video and I've changed your mind about going and spending $2.5 grand on clubs right away, and I feel like I've done a good job. Come and see me in 5 years. Yeah, guys, thank you ever so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, leave it a like. Please subscribe if you are new. Catch you guys later.